Hello, this is Dragon Team 1400, and this is my All Grown Up Episode 1 review. The episode's called Coup De Ville, and the main plot of the episode, I'll get to the secondary plot later, but the main plot of the episode is Lil's kind of growing up and she wants to be popular, and basically feels immature, and her so-called popular friends think he's immature and doesn't want anything to do with him. Basically, this causes Phil and Lil. This causes Lil to want her own room, and Phil gets mad because he feels like he's losing, his best friend. They are twins after all, and twins tend to be really close. Just in general, not all the time, but in this case, definitely Phil and Lil are definitely best friends, and so this creates like a rift between them during the episode. Now, there are some good points in this episode, but there are some really bad points, really bad writing in this episode, and I'm going to talk about the bad points first. And her name is Diane, and I had to rewatch her scenes again to find out her name. It's mentioned once near the end of the episode by Lil, and her name's Diane, and she's the blonde haired girl, the popular blonde haired girl that Lil talks to most of the time in this episode. And at one point, Diane's at the door, and Howard actually says, "Lil, someone's at the door for you," and it's just like Diane's pretty much like a nameless character. She doesn't appear in any of the episodes forward. Maybe she makes a cameo, I'm not sure. I hope she doesn't, because she's a horrible character. Now, her not having a name is not, like, her barely having a name is not really that important. What is her character. Every scene she's in, except for the last scene, is just horrible writing. The scene where they're eating, I just thought it was like horrible. The voice acting's like, it's just not that good. And there's this one point at the party where she's talking to Lil, and she says she's opened up all the bag of chips, and Lil says, "Oh, that's a workout," and then Diane says, "Oh, you're funny." And first of all, that joke's not funny. Second of all, why would you say you open up all the bags of chips yourself? That's just horrible writing. It's just horrible writing. Let's not even talk about Diane's character. It's just the writing for her character and her scenes that she's in is just horrible, except for the last scene where Lil defends Phil from Diane and her friends. And this is such a powerful scene, such a great scene, because of Lil's character. And it's just well written. It's well done by the voice actress, and it's just wonderful written. It's a really good message too. It sends that you can't bully people. That you shouldn't bully people and hurt them and stuff like that. And if a friend is getting bullied, or a family member, that you really should stick up to for them. So it does send a really good message. Another good point about this main plot is Phil's side. It's not so much Phil. Phil's character was pretty good, but Dill's character was just on point. And this is the first time we get to see Dill. And I just watched every episode of the series, and coming back from seeing all the episodes, this first episode here, we get to see Dill's character, and it's just completely on point, completely Dill, basically. There's no really way to describe Dill than just he's Dill. And it does show that Dill is strange. He's weird. And that's what makes his character so interesting. And it was just great seeing him try to be Phil's twin, because Phil was having trouble with Lil, and he didn't really have anyone to play with, and Dill was there trying to act like his twin. It was just great. But no one can really replace your real twin or anything like that, or your sibling. So Phil didn't want to. He kind of just played along, and he finally had to tell Dill, but and Dill was okay with it and everything. So that was all on point. I will say, I'm going to talk about the secondary plot about Chucky not wanting to do the fitness test. We didn't really get to see much of that, but it was well done. I thought it was okay, and I thought the part where Chucky holds his arms up for an hour with the pipes and everything was pretty good. It does show that Chucky does have potential to do good at the fitness test and everything, even though he's afraid to do it. It's pretty consistent with Chucky's character and everything. So I did like that part as well. But any scene that Dill was in was just an amazing scene. It was just it kind of, those scenes were funny. They kind of made the episode bearable, because a lot of the episode just wasn't good. The end part where they show them at Twin Mountain, I didn't think that was good at all. I thought it was poorly written. But I mean, it's better. It was better than the scenes that Diane was. Overall, I give this episode a 4 out of 10. Dill definitely. This episode probably would have been 2 or 3 out of 10 if it wasn't for Dill. But Dill kind of makes the episode, so I'll give the episode 4 out of 10. Pretty good message it serves to Christians and non-Christians alike. But I forgot to mention, but I am a Christian, and this kind of at the end here, I will usually give kind of my Christian take on it. Pretty good message there, and basically the last thing I'm going to mention about this episode is that Angelica, Susie, and Kimmy were not in the episode. Now, Angelica and Susie not being in the episode, it's kind of fine, because both plots didn't really have anything to do with them. But Kimmy not being in the episode, she should have been at the lunchroom, and she should have been at the final scene where they showed the video of Twin Canyon. Sorry. So Kimmy not being in the episode at all. I mean, I get that she wouldn't be a main plot in the episode, and maybe not having her in there, more attention on Lil, because Kimmy's pretty cool too, and why wouldn't Kimmy get invited to this party? So not having Kimmy in the episode kind of removes those problems. So I understand why they did it, but at the same time, it's the first episode, so why not have Kimmy in the episode? It just, I don't know. It's just a lot of times they don't add a character for plot reasons, and even though it doesn't make any sense why they're not there, where's Kimmy in this episode? And don't even mind Angelica and Susie not being in it, because it makes sense, because they're older. The plot didn't really have anything to do with them. So, or their age group, it had to do with the main cat, the core characters there that were in the episode, age group, Phil and Lil, and then Chucky. So I don't know. I think the episode lost a point just not having Kimmy in the episode at all. So like I said, 4 out of 10. Pretty poor first episode, and I watched some reviews of All Grown Up that were reviews way before, and kind of got some negative reviews, and this first episode, it deserves a negative review. Though I do think that the series overall is a great series, an amazing series in fact, which is why I'm doing this. But this first episode just wasn't up to par, and that's really all I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.